goal is to take a client from point A to point B, from buying to closing, from selling to closing. And if you get engaged and enrolled in their drama, then you've lost. You're no longer teaching or navigating them through this treacherous path. You're now a part of the treacherous path. So number one is you just never take things personally, ever. The thing is, once you get successful, and you will, and some of you are already, you can't let it go to your head, ever. Because Florence, one of her strengths was people would always come up to her, as you can imagine, and want to talk to her. She was like Maggie. People would always come up to her and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking to you." And she'd always look at them and say, "I'm only as good as my last transaction." For some people, you put on a suit and you wear that suit and you got the cuffs and you got the pretty watch and you got the fancy shoes and the belts and all the bling that goes with it, and that's for show. For that person, he or she will never succeed and be happy, will never reach happiness. For the person that does that, and that's who they are, then they are absolutely on their path. Being in the luxury market is having luxury clients. And if you don't have luxury clients, you need to get there. And if you don't get luxury clients, or ways to get luxury clients, number one is to do open houses for people that have luxury properties. Offer to do it. A lot of times, agents don't want to give up their properties for open houses. But oftentimes, people that carry a lot of listings, they'll do it. They need assistance. They need help. So get in front of those clients. And every single morning between 9 and 11, I'm on the phone with clients, with past clients, with new clients, with people that are looking to sell. At first, it was a big fear of mine, and then it's such an easy conversation. And what changed for me is I realized that these people, they want to sell their home, or they want to hear from somebody that knows the market. And I've adopted the belief that nobody knows the market better than I do, and nobody can give them better advice. And so when I'm on the phone with them, that translates, and they feel that. And so it's not a sales call, it's not a pitch. They want to hear from you. And either they want to list or they don't want to list, but it doesn't matter. And the biggest lesson that I learned, or the biggest takeaway that I learned, is never to be transactional. And what I mean by don't be transactional is, so often people are focused on the one deal, and how I can make the most money out of that transaction, and the cost is losing the client. You have to be client-based. You have to completely be aware of the client and not necessarily the transaction, and help them with what they need, what their wants and needs are. And that translates to future business. Part of it is you surround yourself with the people you want to be. If you surround yourself with negative people, then you're going to have a negative life. If you surround yourself with people that are at or above you in everything that you aspire to, whether it's financial or personality or whatever it is, and you take notes like Kurt does, then you will eventually be that. You surround yourself with average people, then you'll find reasons to support their beliefs and you'll become average. Be very selective on the people you bring on your team. Don't just start a team with people to start a team. Take your time. Administratively, when you're hiring admin, agents, they're going to represent you. Part of my culture change was getting rid of people on the team that didn't represent the company that I wanted and that I believed that we had. So hire slow, and 3 is fire quickly. When you have somebody negative on your team, do not let them linger and fester, because one negative person, they find little weak points in others, and they start to build negativity. Being the resource for your clients is super important. So how do you be the resource? You have to know the inventory. But you need to know it. You need to know what's new homes come on the market over $1 million or $2 million or whatever the range is. You need to understand what makes one neighborhood different than another. What is Cat 10 versus Skyline Country Club? You need to understand why a buyer would want to live. What are the schools in those areas? And once you know that, then you can have these conversations. But at the same time, don't fall into the trap of thinking, I don't know enough, I'm not going to reach out. Because you'll never know enough until you start.